Hey Absol-lites! So, about a month ago, I made a video describing what my Pokemon gym would be. And my evil team is a much wider story I'm still working on. So today, this is what we'll find out. What if you, or in this case I, were a Pokemon champion? So, in this video, we'll go over what my league's theme will be, what the Elite Four will be, what their teams will be, and of course, who my champion self is. And yes, most Pokemon leagues do have themes. I'll take the Kalos League as an example, having 4 different aspects of Kalosian culture. The media, the food, a knight, and the champion representing beauty. By the way, full credit for this idea must go to Birdkeeper Toby. While Mr. Buddy back in 2015 made the original If I Was a Gym Leader video, Birdkeeper Toby made the video of this concept, being a Pokemon champion, as well as rolling with that idea for all sorts of other videos. So, what would my theme be? Well, I love fantasy, so I think it would just be some fantasy types with the Psychic, Ghost, Fairy, and Dragon types being used. And for me, the champion? Well, you'll just have to wait and see on that one. For the way this league works, imagine it being like the Kanto or Hoenn Elite Four, where they're just one after another, each with a pretty simple room, and all the focus being on the battle. So, without further ado, let's dive on in to the first trainer of the Pokemon League, the Psychic Trainer Cosmos. By the way, they're all named after flowers because that's a theme in the Japanese versions, and it didn't get carried to the West, but I really like it. And yeah, I know the flower is pronounced Cosmos, because it's Cosmo, but Cosmos, but calling her Cosmos fits better. I love the idea of Olympia having the dramatic space cape, but the hair and those ring things around her neck, wrists, and ankles never did it for me. So I drew Cosmos being like that, but not quite as much. Also, her room seems a lot less mystical, being just a big library, until in a very Harry Potter-esque fashion, the books start flying all around the room. Cosmos uses a team of Gothitelle, Behem, Espeon, Starmie, and her ace, the one she'll Mega Evolve, Mega Gardevoir. I tried to give her team like an outer space theme, for obvious reasons, and other than Gardevoir, I think I pulled that off. Gothitelle sees the future with the stars, Espeon has all that connection to the sun, and Behem and Starmie are both aliens. This was pretty hard, since no way in Hades am I giving her Solrock or Lunatone, and while I'd love to give her a full team that's space-themed, there aren't any Mega Evolutions that are space-themed. Next on the roster is Ghost Trainer Lavender. I love Koga's ninja aesthetic and Morty's scarf, so I drew him pretty much like that, but with a bit more ghostly stuff, since neither of those two really screams ghost to me. I also put Haunter in the background, because while he doesn't use it in battle, I really like Haunter, and I wanted to put something more there. His room is reminiscent of the Burn Tower from the Johto games, with designs of poison and ghost types on the walls. For the record, though, if you haven't noticed, I am not drawing the backgrounds, I'm just getting images that inspire them off the interwebs. His team consists of Sableye, Mismagius, Alolan Marowak, Chandelure, and his ace, Mega Gengar. Gengar and Marowak were easy. Gengar is the only fully evolved ghost type in Kanto, and Marowak has all those ghost associations because the first time you see it is the ghost Marowak in the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town. Like I said, they're all named after flowers, and I chose Lavender for the ghost trainer for that very specific reason. Mismagius I put in sort of because it evolves from Mischievous, the only ghost type in Johto where Morty's from, and Sableye and Chandelure I just put in because I was running out of ideas, so I just gave him a theme of purple. Next up to bat is Fairy Trainer Dahlia. I like Valerie's outfit, but the wings just never did it for me, so I combined her with this incredible drawing of Adult Lily by @Chinachi on Twitter, creating this cool design. Well, it was mostly just Valerie, but without the wings. The hair and shoes were pretty much the only things I took from this Adult Lily, and you can't even see the shoes. Sylveon is pretty much the Fairy-type mascot, so I put that in the foreground of the picture walking around her feet, since I like the idea of a Pokemon they use / hang out with out of the Pokeball. Her room seems to transport you to a very cold place that seems to be on top of a mountain, even if that's impossible. Her team is Sylveon, of course, Togekiss, Alolan Ninetales, Galarian Ponyta, and her ace, a Pokemon with one of the biggest typing changes upon Mega Evolution, Mega Altaria. Okay, so this team needs some explaining. So, Dahlias, the flower I named her after, can represent a lot of things, but one of those is change. And since Fairy is a new type that gave a lot of old Pokemon new typings, I decided to go with that theme. Togekiss and Sylveon were both new evolutions for old Pokemon, with Togekiss also being retroactively given the Fairy type in the new gen, and Sylveon, as I said, being pretty much the mascot of the Fairy type. Alolan Ninetales and Galarian Rapidash are both regional variants of Pokemon that aren't naturally Fairy type, so it's a change to the Pokemon to give them the Fairy type. Lastly, Altaria only gets the Fairy type when it Mega Evolves, and that's a huge change, since Dragon and Fairy are pretty much opposites. Last, before myself, is Dragon Trainer Artemis. She was the only one I didn't base off any pre-existing trainers, instead basing her primarily on the DC Comics character of the same name, and some images of the goddess of the same name. Mostly the comics character, though, because it is so hard to try and get consistent images of mythological characters other than colorless statues, because the myths themselves never specify what they look like. For the goddess parts, I based it mostly on this image of her by Christy Tortland. I of course gave her a bow slung around her back, as well as gauntlets to protect her hands. She has a knife at her waist, just in case. Her room is like a forest, with lots of nature and everything. Her team consists of Haxorus, Flygon, Tyrantrum, Dracovish, and her ace, Mega Garchomp. I tried to give her, like, a warrior theme or something, but as it turns out, there aren't actually that many warrior dragon types, so I instead made each Pokemon from a different region to give her a theme of being traveled, since hunters would travel a lot. Also, since she's based on a goddess, I love the idea that when she sends out Dracovish, she says something about catching it in the wild, just to say she might be a little older than she looks. Also, by the way, I just realized, when writing this line here, that this Elite Four is mostly girls. I swear that was not intentional, but most flowers work better as female names than as male ones. Last is me, Pokemon Champion Lupo. Oh yeah, I've used a ton of different pseudonyms over the years, and Lupo is probably my favorite, being based on my middle name, meaning wolf. I figured calling myself Absol might be a bit on the nose. This design for myself is based on Ninja in general, as well as Akio, the second Battlestar in Lumion Legacy. He's a fire trainer, but I love how he puts on a mask that makes him look sort of like a kitsune or a fox or something, so I copied that for myself, giving me a Mega Absol mask. I'm not wearing all black for one reason. That would be completely impossible to see. If you look at old comic books, they all have blue hair, because you can't see anything on black, and that wouldn't look good. I also wear a cape because, cool factor. My team consists of Houndoom, Breloom, Water Onix, Aggron, Salamence, and of course, Mega Absol. I say that, but I also love the idea that I would Mega Evolve Absol against most trainers, but the ones who get me really backed into a corner deal with Mega Salamence instead. Though that might not work, because either most trainers would just get me backed into a corner so much that I Mega Evolve Salamence, because that's just how game balancing works, or just because that would be hard to program. Either one of those is a possibility. So, that's that. That's what I would be if I were a Pokemon champion. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, watch the credits, peace out! Wow, I say this in every one of my videos, but this was a ton of fun to make. I really like drawing up all the characters. I love trying to give each of them a theme as well as a type specialty. And yeah, I don't really know what to say, so follow me on Twitch. twitch.tv/Absol-lites. I'm currently doing a streaming Let's Play on Thursday and Saturday where I stream Immortals: Phoenix Rising, a really cool Greek mythology game. Come check it out. I don't really know what else to say here. So, thanks for watching, Absol-lites. Comment and I'll love you forever, platonically. This has been fun, but Absol from Absol and the Lumians is signing off. Peace out!